Hi, I'm Helena Wang, Research Analyst from Phillip Securities Research, and welcome to today's new episode of PhillipCapital's Market Watch. Today, I'll be focusing on Apple's stock highlights and outlooks. Apple was founded in 1977 and has since grown into one of the world's most iconic technology companies, known for its consumer electronics, software, and a growing suite of services. In 2023, Apple became the largest technology company by revenue, generating a staggering $383 billion. Apple's revenue is primarily driven by the sales of its popular products such as the iPhone, Mac, and iPad, with iPhone contributing to more than 50% of the entire revenue. Its services segment, which includes Apple Music, iCloud, and the App Store, has become an increasingly important part of its revenue mix. In fact, it is ranked second in terms of total revenue contribution. While companies like Google, Microsoft, and Meta have been making headlines with AI developments, Apple has remained relatively quiet in this area over the past few years. That is, until the June of this year, when the company announced its game changer, Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence represents the company's big step into integrating artificial intelligence across its ecosystem. Apple Intelligence is built as the AI for the rest of us. It harnesses the power of Apple Silicon to understand and create language and images, take action across apps, and draw from personal context to simplify and accelerate everyday tasks. There is also a collaboration with ChatGPT, directly integrating its capabilities into the system. These new features will only be available on selected hardware, as only models after iPhone 15 Pro will be able to access. Though in its early stages, Apple Intelligence is expected to have a transformative impact on Apple's product offerings. Now let's move on to the investment thesis for Apple. The pros, first, would be upcoming iPhone upgrade cycle. We believe the newly introduced features will likely trigger a replacement cycle, as Apple Intelligence is only compatible with iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, and iPads and MacBooks with the M series chips. Additionally, improved device synchronization is expected to further increase product demand as people become motivated to tap into the Apple ecosystem. For example, getting a MacBook to pair with their iPhone. The second would be strong gross margin delivery. Apple has consistently maintained strong margin expansion, primarily driven by a favorable shift towards its services. Its services segment is an extremely high-margin business with a gross margin of 74%, compared to 35% for products. As services continue to account for a larger share of the overall revenue mix, we expect continued strong margin expansion for Apple. Moving on to cons, the first will be weak sales in China. One challenge Apple faces is the persistent weak sales in China. Revenues from China continue to contract due to increased competition from local competitors such as Huawei. We believe that the ongoing weakness in the Chinese market, which represents 17% of total sales, will continue to hamper product growth. This is made worse given the lack of plans to introduce Apple Intelligence in China due to regulatory issues. The Chinese version of the feature is also not available yet. The second con would be iPhone upgrade cycle takes time. While the new iPhone upgrade cycle would be a significant driver of growth, it would take time for the cycle to fully materialize, especially with the slow rollout of Apple Intelligence. Apple has projected a 5% year-on-year revenue increase for the next quarter, primarily due to the double-digit growth in its service segment and iPad sales, which could be an indication of flat and potentially negative growth in iPhone sales. As Apple plans to gradually roll out Apple Intelligence, adding new features and languages over time, we expect the impact of the trigger iPhone upgrade cycle to be seen only in FY25 and 26. In conclusion, Apple does face some near-term challenges, particularly in the Chinese market, and slower than expected rollout of its iPhone upgrade cycle. We predict soft iPhone and China sales until Apple Intelligence is widely adopted. Yet, we still believe the company's long-term outlook remains promising. The introduction of Apple Intelligence marks a significant step forward in innovation and is likely to drive future growth across its ecosystem. We maintain a neutral rating on Apple with a target price of $215. With that, we've come to the end of this episode of PhillipCapital's Market Watch. Don't forget to like and follow us on social media channels, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Thanks for joining us.